The monk who never spoke a single word for 30 years taught me more about Buddha's wisdom than all the scriptures I had studied for 4 decades. His silence changed over 1,000 lives, including mine. This is that story. My name is Dr. Michael Harrison. For 40 years, I was America's most celebrated Buddhist teacher. I wrote 18 best-selling books, founded 5 meditation centers, and taught enlightenment to celebrities, politicians, and thousands of seekers worldwide. But inside, I was dying. Every morning, I woke up feeling like a fraud. I taught about inner peace while my mind was chaos. I spoke about Buddha's compassion while my heart was stone cold. My marriage fell apart. My children stopped calling. My students began questioning my authenticity after I suffered a very public nervous breakdown during a live television interview. The scandal destroyed everything. I lost my centers, my reputation, my life's work. At 62, I found myself alone in a studio apartment, contemplating ending it all. That's when I remembered hearing about a mysterious monk in the mountains of Northern California, Master Chen. They said he had taken a vow of complete silence 30 years ago and hadn't spoken since. People traveled from around the world just to sit in his presence. I thought it was my last hope. Maybe this silent monk could teach me what 40 years of studying Buddha's teachings couldn't. So I drove 8 hours to his monastery, expecting to find answers, expecting words of wisdom, expecting something. When I arrived at the monastery, I was broken, angry, and desperate. I demanded to see Master Chen immediately. The young novice monks tried to explain that Master Chen didn't speak, but I didn't care. I had driven 8 hours for answers. They led me to a simple garden where an elderly man in brown robes sat silently under a Bodhi tree. This was Master Chen. I poured my heart out to him, my failures, my pain, my questions about Buddha's path. I spoke for 2 hours straight, demanding answers, demanding wisdom, demanding anything. Master Chen just sat there, eyes closed, breathing slowly, silent, not even a nod. I became furious. I screamed at him, "Say something! Help me! I'm dying inside! Where is Buddha when I need him most?" Still nothing. I broke down crying, feeling more hopeless than ever. Then something extraordinary happened. As I sat there sobbing, Master Chen slowly opened his eyes. He looked directly into mine with the most compassionate gaze I had ever experienced. Without saying a word, he reached out and gently placed his hand on my heart. In that moment of silence, I felt Buddha's presence more powerfully than in all my years of study. I understood that the answer I was seeking wasn't in words, wasn't in scriptures, wasn't in teachings. It was in the silence between thoughts, in the space between breaths, in the love that exists beyond language. Master Chen's silence taught me that Buddha's greatest gift isn't knowledge, it's presence. Not understanding, but being. Not talking about compassion, but embodying it. I sat with him for 3 days in complete silence, and in that silence, I found everything I had been searching for. I returned home transformed, but not in the way I expected. I didn't become a better teacher. I became a better human being. I stopped teaching about Buddha and started living Buddha's way. I closed my remaining meditation center and opened a simple community garden where people could come and just be. People started coming, not for teachings, but for the silence. Cancer patients, divorced couples, grieving parents, lost souls, they all found healing in the simple act of being present together without needing to say anything. We called it Buddha's Silent Garden. Word spread. A mother whose son died in war said sitting in our silent circle brought her the first peace she'd felt in years. A businessman on the verge of suicide discovered that Buddha's love didn't require words, just presence. A teenage girl with severe anxiety learned that healing happens in the spaces between thoughts. 5 years later, our silent community has grown to over 1,000 members worldwide. We have Buddha's silent gardens in 50 cities. People don't come to hear about enlightenment, they come to experience it. We don't teach Buddha's words, we practice Buddha's silence. Master Chen passed away last year, still in silence. But his final gift to me was this understanding. Buddha's greatest teachings aren't in what he said, but in the silence between his words. True wisdom isn't found in speaking about truth, it's found in becoming truth. If you are struggling right now, if you feel lost, if you're searching for Buddha's light in the darkness, remember this: the answer you seek isn't in more words, more teachings, more searching. It's in the sacred silence of your own heart, where Buddha has always been waiting for you. Take a moment right now. Close your eyes. Put your hand on your heart. Feel Buddha's presence in the silence. That's where your healing begins. That's where your peace lives. That's where you find the love that transforms everything. If this message touched your heart, share it with someone who needs Buddha's healing light. Subscribe to experience more moments of sacred silence together. And remember, in a world full of noise, Buddha's greatest gift is the peace found in silence. May Buddha's silent wisdom guide you. May Buddha's peaceful presence heal you. May Buddha's infinite love transform you. Gate gate paragate parasam gate bodhi swaha. Comment silence if you're ready to find Buddha's peace in the quiet moments of your life. Share this story with someone who needs Buddha's healing light. Subscribe for more sacred wisdom that transforms hearts.